it's rocky. So I have to admit that lately I've been kind of in a little bit of a chicken dish rut. When I like a dish, I tend to kind of make it over and over and over again until I just kind of like get so sick of it that I never want to see it again. So that's basically what I've been doing with my chicken dishes. I just have kind of like 3 dishes that I've been kind of making constantly. So I sat myself down a few weeks ago and had a little bit of an intervention, and I decided that I really need to dig deep and come up with some other chicken dishes to add to my rotation. And it really ended up being just a very simple dish and something that I can totally see fitting naturally into my kind of rotation. It didn't really require a whole bunch of ingredients. It just kind of, you know, I used chicken, obviously, some vegetables, orange marmalade, and a few other ingredients. And, you know, within a half an hour or so, I had a meal in front of me. So let me just show you what I did. The first thing I did was the prep work. So I cut up a red, a yellow, and an orange pepper into bite-sized pieces. I did the same thing with a yellow onion. And then finally, I cut up my chicken tenders into bite-sized pieces as well. Now that everything is chopped and out of the way, what I did was I heated up a skillet and shot it down with some extra virgin olive oil spray. And then I added my vegetables to the pan. And if you feel like your pan is starting to dry out after a while, you can just do what I usually do and just pour a little bit of water in. Don't keep spraying in oil because that just kind of defeats the purpose of trying to keep this dish healthy. So just add a little bit of water at a time, you know, as needed. And then you just want to cook your vegetables until they're tender. And what I usually do to kind of speed up that process is just kind of cover them to allow the steam to soften up the veggies. So now that your vegetables are cooking, we're going to want to go back to our chicken and prep those a little bit more. And what you're going to want to do is just kind of dust it down with some garlic powder, some salt, and some black pepper. And then just with your hands, you just kind of want to work all the spices into the chicken. Okay, now once your vegetables are tender, what you want to do is just sprinkle a little bit of salt on them and just kind of mix that around a little bit, and then transfer the vegetables onto a plate. And then your next step is going to be to shoot down that same skillet with some more olive oil spray. And then add your chicken pieces in. Now your chicken, what you're going to want to do is just brown it lightly on both sides. You don't have to cook it all the way through at this point, just kind of brown it on both sides. then once it's browned, you can go ahead and add back the vegetables into the pan. You're going to want to add about a half a cup of water, some sugar-free orange marmalade, a little bit of organic honey just for a little bit of added sweetness, and some crushed red pepper flakes. And that part is totally optional. I really love my spice, so anytime I get a chance to add something spicy to a dish, I jump on it. So if you don't want to have your dish spicy, leave that out. Alright, now this next part is also totally optional. What you can do is if you want a thicker sauce, you can add anywhere from like 1 to 2 teaspoons of quinoa flour or whatever type of flour you have on hand. What I would suggest is start off with 1 teaspoon and put that in there and mix it around, cook it for a couple minutes and see if it's to your thickness liking. And if not, then go ahead and add another teaspoon in and go from there. If you do not want to put flour in, that is totally okay. You don't have to make this dish with flour if you don't want to. What you can do is just cook the liquid down until it reduces. And what you might want to do is take the chicken out at some point just so it doesn't overcook and let the juices reduce down, you know, and let it cook with the vegetables. And then once it gets to the point where the liquid has reduced down enough for you, then you can add the chicken back in and kind of stir it all together and serve it up then. And then that's basically it. It was super simple. I don't even think it took a half an hour to make. And what you can do at this point is you can choose to serve it alongside of some brown rice or some wild rice or maybe some quinoa, whichever. What I have been doing a lot lately is just been serving pretty much anything I can think of within reason on top of a bed of like some fresh mixed greens. And then what you can do is once you're ready to eat it, if you like, you can drizzle on a little bit of low sodium soy sauce, and that'll really set off the flavors really nicely. And as I said earlier, this is definitely a dish that I can see me incorporating into a regular rotation just because it's just simple enough and there's not a lot of ingredients, you know, just a matter of me picking up some chicken and some fresh vegetables from the store, and everything else I basically have on hand. So there you go. If anybody has any questions, just go ahead and post them below. And also, you know what, let me know what your favorite Asian dishes are. You know, your favorite Chinese or even Thai dishes, Korean, whichever, just post them below. I think as far as Chinese dishes, my favorite dish is Mongolian chicken extra spicy. Ugh, I love that stuff. I love it. And then as far as Thai, I don't know, I have quite a few dishes that I like as far as Thai. Maybe Tom Yum soup. I think, well, and then some of the curries are, I don't know, I can go on forever, but just let me know what your favorite Asian dishes are. And the pictures and the full recipe will be on my website. And I'll post a link to that below. And until next time, enjoy. Bye.